Okay, good morning, folks. Here is what we talked about in class today, kind of two parts. So part one is we just finished off our trig ratios. So what we had was what we had learned last time is the ones from before. So if you have your right triangle, so there's my right triangle, and if I had an angle alpha, we identify, excuse me, we identify the sides. The side that's across from the right angle is called the hypotenuse. The side that makes up the other half of angle alpha is called adjacent. It's the one next to it. And the one that's directly across from it, so if I look from angle alpha over here, this is my opposite side. So what we learned last time is we learned Sohcahtoas. So S-O-H-C-A-H-T-O-A. So again, just as a quick reminder, S stands for sine, and what it says is the sine of angle alpha is equal to the opposite side length over the adjacent side length. What we looked at for cosine, A over H, so that is going to be the adjacent, opposite over hypotenuse, my mistake, opposite over hypotenuse. Cosine of alpha becomes adjacent, A over H over hypotenuse, and tangent of alpha becomes opposite over adjacent. So again, sine is opposite over hypotenuse, cosine is adjacent over hypotenuse, tangent is opposite over adjacent. So you got your Sohcahtoa. So what we had learned was if we had something that looked like this, so we had an angle and it was this, 5, 13, 12. If I asked you right here is if that was angle alpha, the sine of alpha would be the opposite 5 over the hypotenuse 13. The cosine of alpha would be the adjacent 12 over the hypotenuse 13. And tangent alpha would be opposite over adjacent, so 5 over 12. So that was what we did last time. We closed it off today with the 3 other trig functions you need to know. And the 3 other trig functions you need to know are, it's called cosecant. Oftentimes it's abbreviated CSC. It's secant. That's abbreviated SCC, and that's cotangent, and that's abbreviated COT. So these all are inverses of these. They are they take the fraction and take the reciprocals. So what's cosecant is 1 over sine. So whatever you had as sine is 1 over sine. Secant is 1 over cosine. Cotangent is 1 over tangent. So in other words, since sine is opposite over hypotenuse, this is hypotenuse over opposite. Since this one is adjacent over hypotenuse, this is hypotenuse over adjacent. And since tangent is opposite over adjacent, it's adjacent over opposite. So those were our, like the way we define these. These are 3 other ones. Again, these are formulas that you'd probably want to write on that index card. So if I asked you to find the cosecant of alpha, it's basically just the inverse of this. So it'd be 13 over 5. The cosine, so in this case, the secant of alpha is going to be 1 over this, or taking that fraction, making reciprocal 13 over 12. And the cotangent of alpha is going to be taking the reciprocal of this. So that would be 12 over 5. And again, what I would do is, we did decimals last time. I'm going to go ahead and leave them as fractions today. So we're going to just kind of showed you the calculator, but now let's just leave them as fractions. So that's when we closed the loop. And then what I did is I gave everybody this practice to work on during class, and we'll have the answers on the board. So please make sure you got that and understand how to do that. So stop this one, and then there'll be another one on the newer stuff for today.